And it's PLB, there will be news, back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about who will make the All MLB team in 2020. Now, an All MLB team does exist. It does exist as a team for awards. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to my other channels in the description below, and let's go ahead and get into this video. Let's go ahead and look at the roster from last year, though. Last year at catcher, they had JT Realmuto of the Philadelphia Phillies. At first base was Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. Second base was DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees. Third base was Anthony Rendon of the Washington Nationals. Shortstop was Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox. Outfielders were Mike Trout from the Angels, Cody Bellinger from the Dodgers, Christian Yelich from the Brewers. DH was Nelson Cruz, and the starting pitchers were Garrett Cole from the Trash Can Bangers, Justin Verlander from the Trash Can Bangers, Jacob deGrom from the Mets, and two pitchers from the Nationals, Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg. The two relief pitchers were Kirby Yates and Josh Hayder. And now for, that was first team, All MLB second team, had Yasmani Grandal from the Brewers last year, obviously with his team last year. First base, Freddie Freeman. Second base, Jose Altuve. Third base was Alex Bregman. Shortstop, Marcus Semien. Outfield was Acuna, Soto, Betts. Yordan Alvarez as the DH. The starting pitchers were Zach Greinke, another Trash Can Bangers pitcher. Hyun-Jin Ryu from the Dodgers. Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals. Charlie Morton from the Rays. Mike Soroka from the Braves, and Aroldis Chapman and Liam Hendricks were your relief pitchers. So now let's go ahead and get into this year's. Now let's go ahead and start off with All MLB first team. Coming in at the catcher position is going to be JT Realmuto of the Philadelphia Phillies. He has by far been the best catcher this year in Major League Baseball. This year he has 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and a .259 batting average, 14 walks, 41 strikeouts, and an .870 OPS. He's been really good this year, and he has to be the best catcher in MLB once again. Next player at first base is Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox have been a really good team in 2020, and Jose Abreu has been probably their best hitter. 13 home runs, 40 RBIs, and a .314 batting average, .969 OPS, 10 walks, and 37 strikeouts in 42 games, 172 at-bats, 29 runs, and 54 hits, 12 doubles. He's been really good this season. And obviously, you probably could argue Freddie Freeman, but as a Braves fan myself, I think Jose Abreu has been better this year. At second base is Brendan Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's been so good this season for the Rays. I would say a bit of a surprise player. He's got 10 home runs, 28 RBIs, 17 walks, 42 strikeouts, and a .250 average, .885 OPS, 27 runs, 37 hits, and 40 games, and a 148 at-bats. Next, at shortstop, has to be Fernando Tatis Jr. of the San Diego Padres. He is the favorite for the NL MVP, and by the time you see this video, you will have already saw my awards predictions, so go ahead and check that video out if you have not yet. Fernando Tatis on the year has 15 home runs, 39 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, a .310 batting average, and a 1.062 OPS. He's been so good this season. And 53 hits. At third base is going to be his teammate, Manny Machado, who has been very underrated so far this season, I think. He had a kind of down year last year, but he's been a lot better this year. And this year, he has 12 home runs, 37 RBIs, and 308 batting average. So he's been really good this season. And in the outfield. In left field is Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals. They've been a disappointing team, but Juan Soto has not been the reason for that. He's been really good this season. He's got 11 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 356 batting average, a 1.215 OPS, 101 at-bats, 22 runs, and 36 hits. In center field, I don't think it's much of a surprise. That definitely goes to Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels, probably a favorite for AL MVP right now, as good as he's been. His team's obviously been terrible, but he's not the reason for that. So Mike Trout's been really good this season. His team's been very disappointing, like I said, but Mike Trout's not the reason for that. Neither is Anthony Rendon. Shohei Ohtani could be a reason for that, I guess you could say. 15 home runs, 38 RBIs, and a 301 batting average on the year, and a 1.069 batting average. And in right field is Mookie Betts of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's been so good this season. Now that he's got, he's on a better team now. He's got his contract. He's been really good. 13 home runs, 32 RBIs, 49 hits, 310 batting average, and a 993 OPS. So now let's go ahead and move on to the DH, which is going to be a player that's played DH this year, and that is Jesse Winker of the Cincinnati Reds. He's been probably the biggest surprise player this year. 10 home runs, 18 RBIs, 34 hits, and a 286 batting average, 994 OPS. Let's go ahead and go to the pitchers now. For the pitchers, the first pitcher is probably the ace of the rotation this year. That's going to be Shane Beaver of Cleveland. 9 games started, a 1.25 ERA, and 7 wins and 0 losses. Yu Darvish is the next pitcher. He's been great for the Cubs this year. Huge surprise for them. They weren't expected to have a lot of pitching coming into the season, but he has a 7-1 record with a 1.44 ERA in 8 games. 8 games started. And next pitcher is Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets. And I don't think this year he might win Cy Young, but Darvish has been so good. 1.69 ERA, 3 wins, 1 loss, and 8 games started. And next is Clayton Kershaw of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 6 games started, 5-1 record with a 1.50 ERA. And the last starting pitcher on this list is going to be Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves, who is currently on the IL, I know. But as good as he was definitely a all MLB first team this season based on how he's played through like 40 games. 1.98 ERA, 6 wins, 0 losses. He was what kind of seemed like a win when he came out there to pitch for the Braves every single time. The 2 relief pitchers are going to be Josh Hayder of the Milwaukee Brewers, who this year has been another dominant season for him. He's got 13 games, 0 started obviously, 11.2 innings pitched, 9 saves, and a 2.31 earned run average. And Kenley Jansen is the other one. He's looked really good this season. 1.96 ERA and 10 saves, 3 wins, 0 losses. So let's go ahead and move on to all MLB second team. The catcher is going to be Pedro Severino of the Baltimore Orioles. This one's kind of tough because really there hasn't been a great catcher besides JT Realmuto this year. But we'll give it to Pedro Severino of the Baltimore Orioles. He's been really good this season. A definite surprise for the Orioles. 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 325 batting average, and a 921 OPS. At first base is Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves. He's been really good this season too. 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, 322 batting average, and a 1.022 OPS. He did start off the season a little bit slow, so his home run numbers aren't really up that high, but he's still been really, really good. Next, at second base is Donovan Solano of the San Francisco Giants, who this season has had a breakout season. 3 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 353 batting average, 932 OPS. And the shortstop is going to be Dansby, Alexander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox. You could have put Corey Seager here. I went with Alexander Bogaerts. 10 home runs, 26 RBIs, 281 batting average with an 868 OPS. At third base is Anthony Rendon of the Los Angeles Angels, who did get off to a slow start, definitely, but he's been really good in his last 20 games or so. But the Angels have had 2 good hitters and still have not been good. Yeah, the Angels are disappointing terribly. The outfielders are Mike Yastrzemski of the Giants and Teoscar Hernandez will not be on here for the Blue Jays, even though he probably wouldn't make it if he was healthy. You've also got Charlie Blackmon of the Colorado Rockies, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs, and a 323 batting average on the season. In right field is Louise Roberts. Well, it doesn't really matter the positions, but Louise Roberts is the next outfielder. He's been really good to start the season. Has to be favorite for the AL Rookie of the Year. Maybe the MVP too? I doubt it. 11 home runs, 27 RBIs, and a 265 batting average, 875 OPS. And the DH is Nelson Cruz of the Minnesota Twins. The starting pitchers, you've got Dallas Keuchel of the Chicago White Sox, Zach Wheeler of the Philadelphia Phillies, Garrett Cole of the New York Yankees, Trevor Bauer of the Cincinnati Reds, Aaron